Hello, hello. We are back. Module 2, Impeccable Intention Setting. I hope you got after that lovely chief aim because this is just going to continue to build and just, again, bring that level of clarity and confidence and competence and consistency in our actions, which, again, we will dive into as far as intention setting and how that connects to our actions, thoughts, feelings, actions. But what I wanted to talk about today was how when we put these blinders on and we set these intentions, we really are able to start bridging the gap between reality and possibility. Okay. So when you set an intention, typically it's not something that we see in our reality. It's not a version of ourselves who we've become yet. So it's allowing us to put the blinders on and bridge that self-concept gap between what is currently in our situation and our circumstance and what gets to be possible, who we get to be, what we get to see show up, what results we get to see in our lives. Because it is that bold promise. When we set an intention for ourselves, for our life, an aim for our life, you've bought the plane ticket and you have a destination, a very clear destination, because you have this aim and you're in charge of the plane and you know when you're taking off, right? It's this bold promise that you are making to yourself. And I share this, I use this as an example under that. Think of a bold promise you made to a friend to keep a secret or show up for her when she needed you, right? Like, it is like, I will not budge from that. I am like, this is who I will never share this with anyone. Like, that is the person that I will be for this friend, right? It's making a bold promise to yourself. It's so powerful. It lends itself to that radical trust, that radical ownership, and it allows you to steer the plane. Do you steer a plane? Yeah, you steer a plane, right? To get to that destination. It also keeps you in certainty, which is very valuable and very it's such an abundant place to be because it's trusting, it's having that your own back, right? When you set an intention, when you have that aim, you put the blinders on, you're starting to see the possibilities show up. You're like, I've made this bold promise to myself. Again, a lot of the thoughts and actions are going to align to that. It keeps you in the certainty. It allows you to believe and trust that the outcome gets to be possible. And when we believe this, when we step into this, when we trust ourselves, when we have our own back, when we're just showing up intentionally with the blinders on, that boomerang effect, right? The positive, trusting, confident and energy comes back to us, right? And that goes back to just bridging that gap. Now we're starting to see some of the possibilities show up just because it's boomeranging back to us because we've set this intention and we've aligned to it. So I just wanted to share this example of just being able to anchor ourselves and our thoughts with our intentions. So I'm just going to use this intention as an example. We are going to dive into some intention setting, but let's just say that my intention is to love unconditionally and always show up with a pleasing personality, not take things personally. So I have this umbrella intention of, showing up more impeccably with my word, with my actions in terms of really being present with people, really not taking things personally so that I can do the thought work. So essentially, like, it's truly doing this thought work. So much of our intentions are about doing the thought work. But here's what happens, right? Life happens. The 50-50 shows up, the circumstances, the people, the things that people say to us, their behaviors, the random Tuesday that break your ankle, right? All of the things that just show up in our circumstance that might want to knock us off our game and, pull the blinders off. So we really want to be able to anchor ourselves in high quality thoughts that produce those high quality feelings, right? Our thoughts drive the way we feel. Those feelings drive our actions, even when the life 50-50 shows up, because we've set this intention. So I've intended to show up more compassionately and loving and unconditional, not take things personally, and just level up that thought place so that I don't sit in the emotional suffering place. Okay. So those are my intentions that I've set. I have the blinders on. I'm seeing all the results showing up, and all of a sudden my sister comes to visit and she's from out of town, and I again, right, and this connects to even expectations, which we'll dive into, but I, think in my mind that my sister in town, that circumstance means that we're going to have so much fun together and we're going to engage in conversation and it's just going to be this great time together. Yeah. And then with expectations, we end up sitting in resentment, but that's a whole nother topic in relationships that we will get into. But the circumstances, my sister shows up from out of town and she's not engaging in conversation, right? The thoughts become the expectation thoughts, the resentment thoughts. Like, what the heck's wrong with her? Why is she's from out of town? Like, why is she being so quiet? Like, she just came in to visit and she's being so antisocial and this is so annoying. And I really wanted to hang out with her and enjoy my time together, right? But that isn't the thought place that's aligned to your intention, to your aim, to who you want to be, the objective of who you want to become. So when we think about the thoughts that are easy to default to because of our human brain, because we want to create the negative thoughts, because we want to sit in the expectation and the resentments, we start to default to like, ugh. And then we feel blah, we feel annoyed, and then we take action from that place. Like, ugh, whatever. Talk to me when you want to be, like, whenever you want to be social, let me know. And then you like storm out of the room, right? What kind of results do you get from that place? So if that's my intention, and here comes this circumstance, the 50-50, the things that we can't control, but I get to control my thoughts, my feelings, my actions, and my intentions, this circumstance shows up and I am shifting to the higher quality thought. I am shifting to that intentional thought that aligns to my intention. I will just engage her in topics that I know she likes. Very neutral, high quality thought that lends itself to the intention that I'm going to show up unconditionally, that I'm going to be present with people, that I'm going to have this most pleasing personality. I'm going to invite people into my space. Now, because I've shifted that thought, I feel connected and confident. I have validated myself in that space. I've assured myself through that thought that I'm aligned with my intention. And then the action is like questioning, active, and engaged listening, all of which you've intended to do. When you show up that way, the result is likely going to be positive, right? When we think more higher quality thoughts, when we think intentionally, we not only feel more confident and connected and competent, but we take action from that place and we start to see the results. So now my sister is engaging. I've brought her into my space. Look at that. All because I was showing up intentionally. And then you're like, yep, brush your shoulders off. And you feel that and you see the results from that. You get the evidence that then confirms the intention. It's so powerful and so beautiful. So I want you to consider this as a space to dive into as far as those anchoring thoughts that are going to align to the intention, even when the 50-50, the good and bad shows up, the obstacles, the bumps in the road, the things that people say to us, the way people behave, just the day-to-day situations that arise, still staying very, very much anchored in the thought places that align to the intentions, to the aim. So dig into that today, and I will see you in the next module.